Welcome back to Radio Net. Oh, was that the end of it? So quick, you can't play any more of it? Play some more of it. There we come on. That was a little kind of cartoon theme music. There it goes again. Cartoon theme music written and produced by WeebeeTV. You're listening to Radio Net, where we showcase creative personalities in cyberspace. And we've got a bunch of creative personalities in here this morning. Randy James, Kirk, and Scott, all from WeebeeTV, organization up in San Francisco. Randy, good morning.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Well, I'm here.
You're here. You've got this. They have an incredible logo. I've got to tell you about. It's a computer. It's a monitor on top of a CPU computer box with antennas sticking out of the top and a very kind of avant-garde WeebeeTV angle slanted across it. And Kirk, I hear you designed that one.
That's right. It's my fault. Yeah.
It's your fault. It's very cool, though.
Thank you. The monitor is supposed to represent a television. That's what the antennas are about, because we're producing TV on the Macintosh.
On the computer, literally on top of the computer.
And that's Scott as well. Let me go through a formal kind of roundtable introduction process, because it was so confusing here. Randy is the founder?
I guess we're all founders. I guess today we've decided I'm the visionary.
The visionary, yes, of the all for one and one for all, yes, three musketeers that we have in the studio.
Yeah.
Kirk Klein.
Yes.
Kirk, with WeebeeTV, what is your
I would guess of us three, I would be the artist.
The artist,
yeah,
and a very good artist as well.
Thank you.
Beautiful logo.
Thank you very much.
And Scott
Christopherson, darn close. No one gets yeah, I am playing the role of pragmatist this morning.
That's your
pragmatist for 300,
and
please.
Playing Hamlet, we have. What is, Randy? Let me start with you. What is WeebeeTV?
Oh man. Let's see. Well,
it's not a trick question.
It feels like it. Actually, it's a trick answer, because it's whatever everyone who's involved in WeebeeTV brings a flavor to it.
Okay.
And so basically, when we decided to do this, we're all working as individuals in the multimedia industry, one way or the other, and decided we should come together. We're all a bunch of friends. We all do this stuff together.
Now, but let's pause for 1 second. When you say working individuals in the multimedia industry, give me some examples of jobs in the multimedia industry.
Okay. Primarily, what most of us do is digital animation. And this is doing 3D stuff, 2D animation that kind of simulates cell animation. The big market these days is making titles for children's CD-ROMs.
So a lot of you guys were cartoonists.
Yeah,
okay.
Primarily, actually. That's one of the threads is cartoonists and filmmakers.
Okay. And then what happened?
Well, do you want me to start from the very beginning?
Well, no, just to kind of capsulize what WeebeeTV is. It's a bunch of cartoonists.
Well, Kirk, Scott, and I, and a bunch of others too. But Kirk and I went on vacation and said, let's do this, and started thinking about how we're actually going to create a group.
Do what?
Come together and build a company or a unit of some kind that will make it possible for us to make a living doing exactly what we want to do.
Which is
making desktop animated cartoons in the tradition of the people we admire. I mean, I'm a big admirer of Chuck Jones, Jay Ward, Terry Gilliam, this kind of stuff.
And these are cartoonists? These are famous cartoonists? I haven't heard of any of these guys, so I'm like, sure.
Yeah, I could say Rocky Bullwinkle. I could say...
how about Scott Groening?
Matt Groening.
Matt Groening. See, I don't even know. I'm like mixing guys up here.
Well, he's definitely an influence. I mean, a lot of us, Kirk's really been an influence. I'll let him talk about himself, actually, but Underground Comics.
So it was a bunch of cartoonists who wanted to take and just use the computer as the medium to transfer the cartoon.
Yeah, cartoonists and filmmakers.
Cartoonists and filmmakers.
Organizationally.
This is Scott.
Hi, I'm Scott. Organizationally, how you doing? Organizationally, we are more or less a talent pool where people whose strengths in different areas in computers, like doing sound or doing animation or drawing art to be scanned into the computer, can fall into various projects as they come and go. We're able to, because of the talent pool we have in WeebeeTV, assemble teams to make specific animations, either contract or individual, stuff we can do ourselves, or stuff companies want us to do.
Now, the goal here, I would presume, is to make money.
Well, no, actually, that's a secondary.
Secondary goal.
No,
we don't want to make money.
Money's nice, though.
We could have the money if we were to stay in the industry now.
Yeah.
So what's the goal?
The goal is to be able to do whatever burbles out of us at the time, and to be able to be accepted to do that kind of stuff, and make a living at it.
And putting the creativity first.
Yeah.
That's why they call him the visionary.
Yeah.
Now, last week we had a group on called IUMA, And it seems like it's kind of a similar thing. It's a bunch of buds getting together who have similar interests and then trying to just hang on the internet or using computers to kind of glue it all together.
What's happened is the means of productions are finally in the hands of people that can understand. Normally we wouldn't have understood this stuff. I mean, Scott would have, but I surely wouldn't have. And it's like now you can make a desktop animated, on the Macintosh, which is user-friendly in the first place. Finally, the technology has come out where you can actually make a broadcast quality video, television show, using available technology, and it's understandable by people within a few months. Any artist, graphic artist, filmmaker, audio technician that would have done analog stuff can now do it digitally. And
well, let's take some of the cartoons that those of us watch on TV. Let's take The Simpsons for an example.
Sure.
Is the technology there where that can be produced on a computer?
Well, yeah, certainly.
Part of it is.
Yeah.
Scott?
Part of the Simpsons is actually colored to the computer now, instead of being all hand cell drawn. Stuff they have to put in late, like real relevant sort of in-jokes, information that's off the news. They animate it on the computer really quickly and put it in the show.
There's a spate of Saturday morning, Problem Child. You watch it, you can tell the whole thing is 72 DPI.
So what's that?
That's the screen resolution on the
Oh, okay.
It's 8-bit stuff.
Okay.
And you can see the whole thing is done on a Macintosh. Everything.
That's dots per square inch,
yeah.
Which we may know from our laser printer technology.
Well, 72 DPI is real low resolution. What's film if you take it down to DPI? Isn't it 12,000 or something?
3,000 DPI.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So the resolution's less, but the production time, the cost, everything is so much cheaper and faster, and it allows spontaneity.
Now, you've brought a computer in with you today, which Kirk's he's behind the controls of. He's in the cockpit. He's strapped in. He's got this thing loaded.
No parachute.
And no parachute, which is maybe a bad thing.
It's how we operate.
High risk, huh? Kirk, you were playing music bed?
The theme song, basically.
The theme song of what?
Of WeebeeTV at this point.
Okay, it's WeebeeTV.
We have a television show that we're putting together, and we can't talk about it. Okay,
It's the lawyers will kill us when we get home.
It's strictly.
Well, no, it's just between me here. You can tell me about
That's
it.
right.
We can tell you it's a cartoon variety show.
Okay.
That in the tradition of maybe something like there's no tradition for it really. I look at when I think about the kind of stuff I want to do is like Terry Gilliam stuff, the stuff that was the animation in Monty Python.
Okay.
That was when he was doing that stuff in the 60s. That was revolutionary. That was moving cut out stuff around under a film.
Mm-hmm.
And we're hoping, that's as ridiculous to try to say we can compare ourselves to those guys because they're the greatest. But in that vein, with that sort of that philosophy behind just whatever you come up with, you're able to immediately, or compared to the traditional terms, almost immediately produce it. Mm-hmm. There it is. You get a cool idea. By tomorrow, it's almost done. As a form of it.
So, and do you have musicians involved in the group as well?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We have sound engineers. We have musicians.
Let's name them.
Do you want? Yeah. Let's give some of these guys some plugs.
We've got Frank Martinez, Jeff Galashaw is our guitar player. So,
Curtis, and I can't think of Curtis's last name right now.
I've never known it, so
he's gonna kill you.
Yeah,
we're all on a first-name basis here.
I'm sorry.
Do you want to play any more of the music here?
I was just hoping to interject these sound effects all through the show.
Feel free. Take improvisational liberty here as you
stand back.
Stand back.
So whenever there's a lull,
brace yourselves from the what's going to happen here.
A lot of this. I don't know if this is coming out actually. Can we?
Sure. There it is.
There it is.
Sounds like somebody's got a fur ball cut in their throat.
A lot of these sounds, too, are us playing with the
Scott, please don't do that into the microphone.
No, sorry.
Turn your head away, okay?
Back quick.
What? What was that?
Sorry, what?
Who could say?
Okay. Randy, how long has WeebeeTV been kind of in existence?
Well, it's been we've been gestating it for like 3 years probably, and we finally decided, I came with a name. Kirk and I sat down and Kirk designed, we co-designed and Kirk made the logo, made it real, and we started doing things like, so I would say, maybe a year ago. When did we do the ad? I can't remember when the ad was.
Yeah, we got our first ad in a brochure that went around to, I don't know how many copies went to.
There was something like 50,000. It was like a hypercard directory to Joint Solutions Marketing here in Scotts Valley. Scotts Valley, actually.
Which for a lot of the members suddenly made it real.
Yeah.
Because we were advertising, and there wasn't actually anything there yet, you know. But
it's like we're advertising. We don't know what we do or what we are, but we'll throw an ad out there.
I'll give my secret. The movie Tucker, okay? There's a scene where it says, it pays to advertise. He had no car, he had no investors, and he put an ad in whatever it was at the time, and suddenly everyone wanted his car.
Now, did the same thing? Did you find that to be a reality?
It began more internally. They were like, we started having meetings, and like, look, we're like real. It's not just a bunch of weirdos now. Someone else believes us enough to print us up and think we're real. And at the time, we were just a business card and a logo. We didn't have a business card yet. We were just a logo.
To go on TV, and you've got plans in the works for a TV show. Is this something that are you talking with NBC or something about this? Or?
Well, it's sort of starting smaller. We sort of fall back. No. The answer is no.
Tell them about the 500 channels, Randy.
The 500 cable channels.
No, we'll get to that. That's my job, Scott.
Okay.
Heel, boy, heel. You're jumping ahead of the game here. It's down here. It's down here.
No, we've got an we did a trade show. Tony Hudgens got us involved with Stratavision. We did a trade show for.
What's Stratavision?
They're a company that makes 3D animated software.
Okay.
And they seeded us, which means they basically gave us all their software, 10 copies of it, and got us to where we do it. So now we make stuff and they show it and all that kind of stuff. But we have to do their trade shows, which means it's like a $3,000 space sometimes for a trade show. We got it for free, and so we stand there and we'd be half Strata, half WeebeeTV.
But I'm still trying to figure out where you're going to go on TV.
Okay, what I'm saying is we met our organizational consultant, Melinda Cuthbert, and what she's doing now, we have to have a more or less a finished prototype. We have there's something called the Interactive Sandbox. This is the guys from CyberLab 7. They used to be in the Scotts Valley or Santa Cruz.
They're responsible for the movie Lawnmower Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. His name's Brett Leonard. We're right now working with getting them a treatment, and
that's ISTV. Interactive Sandbox. Okay.
Yeah, ISTV, exactly, yeah. And so that right now is kind of probably the most possible thing. We're also
And where would that go out though to the mass public?
That would be test marketed in West Hollywood, I guess, on cable, and then eventually it would break nationwide on cable. And their long-term goal is to get it on the net, to where you would download shows that you're interested. I guess that's the long-term goal, but.
Okay, we've talked a little bit about the future. Let's talk about the past. And what have you guys done to date?
Okay.
Scott, do you want to field that one?
Well, we started our earliest projects, or
sure. Yeah. What was the first thing you guys put together?
We all kind of approached WeebeeTV from different angles. Randy had been doing independent animation projects for various people for a while. He worked for different companies and such. And he came in. Basically, he was the first person to hop on the Wild Mac and tame it. I kind of came in later on. Of course, my background is more or less in film. I've worked with Randy on various video projects before, and we actually WeebeeTV really was preceded by a film we all made together called
the one called Ball and Togger.
The one called Ball and Togger, which was a documentary about an imaginary
a
mockumentary about an imaginary person named Sligo.
And this was all done on the computer.
No.
This was a film documentary.
We are versatile. We're not just computers.
Okay.
We can shoot tape as well. So we made that, and that kind of established a working sort of set.
There was something called 21st Century Vaudeville, and it became like a perennial. It's like a half-hour video that they broke into 5 minutes.
This was a locally produced San Francisco cable
public access
hour.
Thing, and they got a lot of calls for it, and it became quasi famous kind of. We weren't WeebeeTV yet though; it was just us.
So what was WeebeeTV's first project that was put together on the computer?
First thing we probably did was our self-promoting kiosk.
There you go. Now, what is the story of kiosk?
Oh, no.
Tell them about the kiosk.
All right. My roommate, Brennan Doyle, and I, who's also inextricably connected to WeebeeTV, in the Sunset District in San Francisco, every 6 months, they have this thing where they put all the stuff you don't want, it's too big, they don't want a dumpster, you put it out on the curb. So that's when we go out and get furniture.
Big trash night.
Okay, yeah, big trash night. So we go out and get chairs and stuff. And it was an epiphany. I mean, I go over the hill, and there's like the clouds part. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning, and a beam of golden light comes down, and there's this Miss Pac-Man game sitting on the curb. And I hear angels and everything, and I realize, oh my God, we could make a kiosk. Okay, here's a kiosk. So from that, it was crazy, but I talked everybody into it.
You've been taking hallucinogenics in your childhood.
Hey, 3 hours of sleep and 2 cups of coffee at 9 o'clock in the morning. What did we say? It was like having a multimedia artist come here at 9 o'clock in the morning to do a radio show. It's like asking Dracula to go to a volleyball tournament in Malibu. It's like, You know, it's like I'm not even in my body yet. I don't know.
Set and spike.
Yeah. You know, there's not enough sunblock for the guy. You know, but yeah, we just pulled this Miss Pac-Man game apart and stuffed a Mac in there and made a interactive presentation. It was basically what am I thinking of? Resumes. Interactive resumes. That's what we started doing.
Yeah, you could scroll around inside the interface and click on people's names, and it would show works they've done or talk about them.
And where did you put this?
We did a trade show. There's a lot of them. We did the Samaria trade show, the Samaria annual QuickTime Festival has kind of had a lot to do with this too. Is that we've won like 7 awards collectively now, and they basically put it on a CD-ROM. We don't get paid for that, but it's recognitions, and we actually did your first time when it gets published, that kind of stuff.
Let's talk about some of the projects that you've won awards for.
Okay.
What?
I was the first one. I did something called Save the Rainforest, Eat an Iguana, and it was
Save the Rainforest,
Eat an Iguana.
Eat an Iguana.
I got it out of Christian Science Monitor. It's a sustainable development practice in South America. That's what everybody else said. But it took first place in the animation category, and because I'd been working on it for like a year. I got my BA in film and animation at San Francisco State. Scott and I both went there, and I'd been working on it for so long. QuickTime wasn't even developed when I started, and when it had just hit when I was done, more or less enough. And so no one else had been working on something for a year. I think that's why I won. But then after that, there were a few of those festivals. And then Raul Visceral, who's not here, but he did one the next year and got in. And then this year we got Kirk Klein got in. He took second. And it's the one everyone wants to look at is Kirk's movie.
Which one was? Did I see Kirk's this morning?
I don't think you did.
You did. Is the sun bothering you? Yeah. Well, we might have gone.
I think showed up a little late for that one.
Oh, okay.
This particular last QuickTime Festival was truly wonderful because QuickTime
is what?
QuickTime is a compression method. If you try to play a cartoon or a movie on the computer, it can't.
See, that's what I thought.
Refresh.
I didn't think that computers were at ability where we could do this stuff, and you played these for me.
It can't redraw each frame fast enough to give you continuity, but there's now a compression method called QuickTime that will smash that all down into a smaller window that plays at the right speed. Then, with hardware support, you can blow it back up to full screen.
Now, and can you also transfer these little cartoons across the internet?
As soon as the internet is up, and being able to do, we've got fiber optics and the thing.
The internet's not up yet?
Well, I'm saying when I say
someone didn't. Up. Wait. Someone left a big part of the show out of my. Wait a minute here. No one told me it wasn't up yet.
It's all an illusion.
What my compatriot means to say is that the QuickTime films are still pretty large. They're about 1, 2, 3, 4 megs. And it's a matter of transfer time. Someone could get a QuickTime movie on their computer, but it just takes a long time to transfer.
You could upload one and have it sit there and wait for somebody to download it, but to actually beam it right to somebody's house so they can watch it.
It won't run real time.
How long does it take to download?
About a half hour a meg, I think.
Really?
No, it depends
I think
how
you could do
fast
it in 10 minutes.
Approximately.
Depends how fast your modem is.
Oh, that's right. It's all,
and how many compression methods you use for it. Anyway, back to what I was saying about the Samaria Festival. It was wonderful this year because it was in the Masonic Auditorium, which is great, up on Nob Hill. And there were 3 WeebeeTV movies there with the logo on the end, just like 20th Century Fox.
Great.
It was nice.
And now people know about WeebeeTV.
Right. We've gotten a lot of calls just on that. Who are you guys? Who put the pink stuff all over the screen at the end every time?
Is anybody paying you for it yet, though?
Well, we're all working professionals and doing one thing or the other, but
see, that's the whole idea is we could get paid, but we're hoping to come up with our own method of doing what we love, and then somebody will pay it.
We've got prototypes. We've got an interactive CD-ROM prototype based on the same theme the television show is going to be based on.
What's that? Explain that.
I can't explain the show.
We can't talk about it.
I can't talk about it.
It doesn't exist.
I can't. Sorry, man.
No. Should tell them what we're doing now.
What are we doing now? Okay, well, I got a project that I'm going to say WeebeeTV is doing because I can't say WeebeeTV is doing it because legally it's a nightmare, okay? So until we get an organizational structure.
Don't worry about that stuff right now. Don't worry about that.
But we're doing basically I've hired everybody. Okay, like 10 or 12 people, probably like 8 or 9. It's an interactive CD-ROM title for kids. It's through World Book. I probably really can't talk too much about that because it's not released yet. But basically, we're taking a children's book, you scan it in, cut it apart very meticulously, and animate it. Put it with sounds and things like that. So little kids, it's like a children's book for age 3 to 6 that you can click on things and things happen.
So the plan then would be to reproduce that on CD-ROM and sell it in maybe bookstores next to the audiobook section or something like that?
We're working for a company that's working for World Book. So that's all book publishers.
Right, we're the artistic end, and they take it from there.
Yeah.
Were you going to say something, Scott?
Nothing. These things are already available.
Yeah.
There are many titles out there available that have the same interactivity. And
Grandma and Me, I think, is the biggest.
Putt Goes to Town or Joins the Parade. That's what it was.
I would venture to say that we wouldn't be where we're at, be able to feel as successful as we are, if not for the children's CD-ROM market. It's the one segment in the multimedia industry right now that is just exploding because it's a perennial. You always got kids. It's long shelf life, all that.
And that's one of those drags. You always got kids hanging around. The CD-ROM technology, our Silicon Surfer is very active in that, so we're going to be talking to him about that as well. 479-1080, 761-1080. You're listening to RadioNet, and we'd love to get some of your questions if you'd like to call in. What do you think about this? Is this like magic that we're doing here?
Yes.
Or can people... Okay, well, so no one else can get involved.
Don't anyone else try this. We're the only ones that know how.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious, though. This is technology that really, it seems like it's magic, but it's pretty... accessible to the public, isn't it?
Don't try this at home.
Yeah.
You may injure yourself.
It feels magic to me, and I think to everybody else, because, my God, we are able to do what we always dreamed we could do. I mean, we're all, you're a kid and you watch a lot of television, you get really into it, and there's a lot of people that wow, one day maybe I'll get to make something. And now, because of the Macintosh and all the latest advances and this stuff, it's possible. I mean, 20, 30 years ago, we were talented, but we couldn't have done this. And it's like, now, everyone, you got a shot at it now, but it wasn't there. So to me, it's magic, because, wow, it can be done.
As the proliferation of the Internet expands and as people find themselves logging on, more and more percentages of people find themselves looking for more things to do, another thing that our surfer is going to take us into new areas and discover new things to do on the Internet. Is there going to be a time where we can, instead of turning on the TV to get entertainment, we log on to the Internet and pick WeebeeTV channel?
Yeah. This is the dream, is that basically the end of advertisers being able to tell you what can be on. You're on a bulletin board. People look for what you do. They see, okay, they look under entertainment, or look under social parody or satire or whatever, and they get that's, they want that, and then they say, okay, well, they'll click on this weird logo and get a little segment of what we are, okay, and then, okay, you want to see that, then you double-click, or you put your number on there, and you pay to see it directly, just like going to a movie.
There we go, getting paid.
No more advertisers telling you what you can and can't say. No more, FCC stuff saying, oh, no, you can't say something about the president, or you can't talk about sexuality, or you can't, anything. You're able to just express yourself because it's like a pay-per-view channel or something. And so the creative freedom that's available then is, no more censorship. You can just do stuff. Not that I'm really worried about that, but...
First of all, I think the Internet is not yet going to have the transfer rate in terms of data to do something like this. We're probably looking at cable television to really do the trick. On the other hand, we could have
because the Internet takes too long.
Takes too long.
The technology isn't there. The speed, because we're still talking about massive amounts of information, right?
Again, playing my role as the visionary, I'm looking at like a possible future that who knows if it's ever going to get here. It's going to get here, but when?
As a pragmatist, I think we can get into a lively argument about narrowcasting, and I'm sure that you say to be advertising free, they'll find a way to advertise specifically to you. Yes.
Well, what they like to do is to add something interesting to their advertisement, and so you get something cool. You get free stuff instead of their dribble.
All it means is the advertising will say, "Buy this, Randy James."
What about also we see as we watched? I think about the Olympics and the polar bear.
The Coke ad?
Well, I was going to try not to say.
Sorry.
Oh, man. The beverage ad that was computer generated entirely. Is that another? And sound effects almost exactly like that too. Were you the voice of that? Is this something that you guys are getting into as well, or you could see as a future as being hired to produce 30-second computer generated spots?
Well,
and that was a live sound effect.
We just did one actually. We did something for Joint Solutions, and we did a trade out for the ad that they printed in our HyperCard directory. And it's a QuickTime movie advertisement, and it's going to play on a CD-ROM. They're going to put like 57,000 CD-ROMs or something. That's a viable kind of advertisement that's happening now.
It's now we're going to get hit when we throw a CD-ROM in our player. We're going to get hit with an ad before we can get to the body, kind of like watching the previews before we get to the movie.
Because if you're buying the CD-ROM, then you're paying for that.
Yeah, it's non-linear too, so you can just choose to click on it or not. It's not like a linear presentation where here's a CD-ROM, dun, 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 and you have to sit through the whole thing. No, if you want to see the ad, go ahead. But if you don't, go right straight to the meat.
What about taking and working commercially for large companies and actually going on to television.
Like we're doing right now, working for a large company?
Yeah, the vision is to be able to be our own large company or small company.
Well, but as a production company, I see you almost more as a production company, really.
I think the way to look at WeebeeTV, instead of trying to figure out a pigeonhole way to try and make money or to have a business, is that we're a lot of creative people with a lot of different talents, and we have a lot of freedom as to which way we want to use them. And we're deciding to focus on television because we have a lot of ideas that run in that direction. We have a lot of cartoonists. We have a lot of humor people.
Seems very applicable.
Well, there's a big revolution, too. Stuff like Beavis and Butthead. I mean, that's what really blew my mind, is that thing, the production value of that thing is nowhere. And we can make stuff that looks at least that good and easily better on the desktop. And so if that's being absorbed and that's accepted, we're next.
Now, if you can do it, why can't the guy at home... can't he do it as well? And that's where I come back to taking the magic out of cartoon making. When you think of, like, the Disney cartoon making, there's so much work involved in that. Now, aren't we getting to a point where the guy at home can do it by himself?
They absolutely can.
He's us.
Yeah.
You are that person.
Yeah, 2 years ago I was watching television. Now I are one.
Now you are one. And yeah.
Yeah. Well, WeebeeTV is like, we can actually do commercial stuff, and we can work for big companies, but we really want to make original programming. That's can't be emphasized strongly enough.
Yeah.
With so much creativity, sitting around the creative pool you've got going on, I think you'd want to do your own thing.
Yeah, here's the big thing. If it's a point, I hope I say this right. Help me out here. But we're trying to find out, what do the people in WeebeeTV want to do, and we build a product around that, rather than saying, here's what someone else wants us to do, and can you guys do that?
Right.
It's like we're going, okay, well, what naturally comes out of us? What's the dream job? We're crazy enough to want to dream, and we're getting away with it slowly.
Well, no, it's great. It's like, what would you do for free? Do it for free, and then hopefully someday get paid for it. So the ISTV again. We touched on that a little bit before, and I'd like to come back to Brett Leonard. How much is he involved with everything? No, Kirk's leaving you on a
Brett
line
Leonard
here.
is a name floating out there.
That was mean of you, Kirk.
Well, I'm sorry. No, Brett Leonard, I have never met the gentleman. He's a name floating out there like so many others that we have contacts. The funny thing about a lot of this that we're doing is the sneaking feeling that everybody's trying to help us. Be on the radio, or, be in this trade show, or here's a free ad, or don't you want a spot on this, or, and then there's somebody who calls up, and here's Brett Leonard, and here's a marketing consultant from Time Warner, and, hey, I know somebody who works at Silicon Valley, and, hey, I know, and, he's one of the arsenal of targets sitting out there waiting for us.
Yeah.
So who's met Brett?
I don't even know where that came from. It's like, San Francisco in the multimedia industry right now is so bizarre. It's hard to explain how things happen. It's just like stream of consciousness almost. I mean, one of my old roommates now works for Dan. Can't remember his last name now. He used to be Cyberlab 7. He's involved with Brett Leonard. We're doing TV. It somehow came back to us. People just...
Well, and it seems like even the word multimedia is like so almost undefinable.
An analogy is like the film industry back in the early days. There's a lot of multimedia going on in San Francisco. They call it Multimedia Gulch. There's Hypermedia Group. There's a couple other companies. There's tons and tons of companies. Communications Wave. Everybody's putting out stuff. We are kind of like, at this point, as respect to them, kind of a poverty row studio.
There you go.
We're off the side. We don't have a lot of. We don't have a lovely office with a long-legged secretary in front taking calls and such.
But that's next.
That's next. But anyway,
they don't want the money.
The number again?
They don't want the money. They just want the leg.
Yeah.
Now we know why you guys have come together. It's for long-legged women. Okay. The truth finally comes out. They're just moaning and groaning.
Talk about non-disclosure.
So.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh my goodness! There's wild cats in here now.
Breakfast. Oh, I've been instructed.
They're just lonely computer professionals.
Yeah. Oh, we're not that lonely anymore. Oh, jeez. It'd be. I sort of crave loneliness sometimes.
You've got a card there.
I was going to say, I got Tony Hudgens, are one of our. I don't know. He's not really a marketing person. He's sort of like our what is happening. Contact of the universe. Thank God we have one. Says we should put our email thing out here.
That's a great idea.
Our email is WeebeeTV Weebee at AOL.com.
Okay, slow down on this one now.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Okay. It's Weebee.
Double E's. But with two E's.
Two E's, which is how we spell the thing.
Which actually it's 4 E's. Which actually it's 8 E's.
Sure. But the last two, there's just a T and a V.
Oh, so
you can
it's
only get
4 E's.
Yeah, so it's Weebee, WeebeeTV T and V, so WeebeeTV, at AOL.com.
America Online.
Everyone understands this. I have no idea what this means. So, okay, and also we've got two phone numbers. The project development, which is the main one, is 415-239-4695. And we've got a talent pool, which is 415-281-5646. And now we'll activate it. Now someone might actually call.
Tell us about the talent pool.
There's really not that much to say. I mean, a lot of us teach. Brendan Doyle. So we were just like, okay, well, hire us, as individuals or whatever, and we'll all grab one big flag and wave it like crazy, It's like a weird weed that just shoot up through the cracks of the multimedia mainstream, And so that's kind of what the talent pool is. And now we've just about hired everybody on this new project. So, but there's always more people that want to get hired. So that's kind of what we're doing too.
So the immediate plans for the future, you've got the TV project, some interactive CDs. Where else can we see your logo?
Oh, on my back. I'm wearing a T-shirt right now. I don't know. Let's see. We just sent with Joint Solutions, and they're piggybacking one of our the theme music that you heard is actually theme music. It's on our little looks like a kind of an MTV sort of logo kind of thing. We did it with WeebeeTV, and that's going to be on a CD-ROM. I don't know which. It's on a couple of them.
I hate to push CD-ROMs for Samaria, but if they want to see 3 WeebeeTV movies or even more, I think on sale now is the 1994 or 1993.
Yeah. And we get absolutely no royalties for that.
1994 QuickTime Awards. It's available on CD-ROM, and that has 3 of our films on there. It has Raoul's Cool Cola, and it has Kirk's Is the Sun Bothering You, and it's got Randy, Scott, and Karen's. Yeah. Since you directed it. Yeah, made in beautiful Davenport, California.
Now, Randy, I hear you're willing to work for money or Valium.
Yeah.
Right?
I think people want me to work for Valium.
You'll just trade out?
They would love it if I would use, yes. No.
Randy, Kirk, and Scott from WeebeeTV up in San Francisco. Give that email one more time if you'd like to get a hold of them. It is
There's always next time.
WeebeeTV and V. So WeebeeTV at AOL.com.
And if you'd like to have any of that deciphered, you can call 479-1080 or 761-1080. Talk to CZ Ryder, and she'll try and help you out, get through to WeebeeTV. Coming up next on RadioNet, we've got Fred Barling coming in. He's going to talk about news of the day, of the world, of the net, and locally, just of Santa Cruz's story in the Sentinel. And we'll be back after this break. You're listening to RadioNet on the ZBS Radio Network.
It's one of our biggest sales of the year, the Giant Labor Day Weekend Sale, today and tomorrow only at Western Appliance TV and Stereo. This is Jeff Moyer. Here from Western Appliance's David Niederauer.
That's right, Jeff. I know, you know, refrigerator rebates up to $150 cash back in tomorrow. Don't say I didn't tell you. Don't throw away $150. Listen to this. Big 25 cubic foot side-by-side refrigerator with water and ice service on the door. Today and tomorrow only, just $799 after rebate. That's got to be the lowest price in the universe, guaranteed, and only at Western. GE refrigerators, $299. Whirlpool washers, $219. Maytag ranges, $199. GE freezers, $199. Dishwashers, $187. Dryers, $99. Famous for low prices since 1885. You can't beat a Western deal.
Refrigerator rebates end tomorrow, and I'll guarantee the low prices right now at Western Appliance TV and Stereo. 6 big superstores: Oakland, Fremont, Mountain View, Gilroy, Santa Cruz, and San Jose.
Western Appliance, making life much easier for you.
Sir, I quit.
But Jeeves, you've been with the family so long. Why?
Sir, I have nothing to do since Pyramid Light and Power installed a home automation system.
Yeah, no vacations or complaining, and it costs less, too.
Now everyone will be able to afford a butler.
I'll call Mark Kaplan at 458-0362 and have the security and whole house music system reprogrammed and the kitchen integrated into the system when you leave.
I'm calling Pyramid Light and Power at 408-458-0362 and tell them a thing or two myself.
This program is brought to you in part by your local KFC store, where today you will receive free Pepsi with your purchase of a whole family meal. Great for picnics, tailgate parties, or just plain relaxing. Details at your favorite KFC store.
You've heard about the Internet, maybe even had a chance to explore it, and now you can afford what you really want, a direct tap from the Internet to your home or office. ScrewsNet provides direct Internet access to businesses and individuals starting at $25 a month. It isn't just another online service. You will have unlimited access to every resource the Internet has to offer. It's the fastest growing web of information the world has ever seen. If you want to tap directly into the Internet, call ScrewsNet at area code 408-457-5050 or send email to info@screws.net.
Now that Eric Scheck's program has been expanded to 2 hours, our friends in Silicon Valley have helped me devise a way to broadcast 2 hours of material in my daily 1-hour show. Stop the promos! Stop the promos! My program, The Daily Rail, expanding to 2 hours beginning September 6th. Join me, your common sense conservative, Darrell Allen Gold, weekdays at noon for Reason discussion on politics and current events. That's The Daily Rail at high noon, weekdays on AM 1080 KSCO.
Issues and entertainment. That's local news talk radio for the Monterey Bay, KSCO.
Welcome back to RadioNet. WeebeeTV has left the building. And there's a kind of sense of calm coming over the studios. My goodness. Talk about high energy. I wonder if they're going to be able to convey that through the Mac. What'd you think of them, Bob?
I think that they definitely need to cut down on the coffee.
Bob, you're really mellow today.
Yes, I'm always mellow.
No, you're not always mellow.
Usually mellow.
What's going on today?
Lots of stuff going on. We've got.
No. With you.
With me, I am preparing to move down here to Santa Cruz, and
well, that's good.
Yeah, possibly working with 2 major magazines. And
but why are you so mellow today?
I'm mellow just because I'm always mellow.
I don't know.
Face it, he's wearing his Red Dwarf T-shirt, and that'll mellow you out.
That'll mellow anybody out.
Yes.
Fred Barling, our news guy.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good.
What did you think of those WeebeeTV guys?
Oh, they're fun.
Is this something that's, this is going to go somewhere, this technology and this type of communication?
It already has. There's this section of San Francisco called Multimedia Gulch, and it's like the really slummy part of town where you get really low rent in warehouses. And
so that's south of Market kind of...
Yeah, and all sorts of great CD-ROMs are being plugged out of there, really big games, and these are really tiny companies creating these really big games.
So the main thing that these cartoons and things are being distributed on is the CD-ROM technology?
Yeah, that really is the media of choice, because, like a floppy disk, what we would normally buy a program on a floppy disk.
Right.
At most, they're just a little more than a megabyte, and, QuickTime movies eat up a megabyte in less than a second,
Just like that, huh?
So, yeah.
We'll have to, John, our Silicon Surfer's coming in next hour, and we'll have to bring that up with him, because I know he's got a lot of experience with that as well. So you've got some news for us?
I've got us some news.
What happened last week?
Well, here's the good stuff. Here's the relevant stuff. Here's what makes my belly button just pucker. If you're looking to tour Graceland, save your frequent flyer miles. A tour of the mansion of the home of Elvis Presley is now available online. Stay off the airlines. You don't need to get on them. The tour includes photographs and sounds and can be accessed. Okay, folks, pencils ready. This is a really long address. Connect to http://128.194.192.elvis, Elvis had to be in there somewhere, HOM.HTML.
You're kidding me.
I feel like Dan Quayle at a spelling bee. And I'll repeat that in a sec, because that was
No, you won't.
No,
if you want that, call in.
Okay. We won't repeat that in a sec.
We won't repeat that. We don't have... This is only a 2-hour show.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, I won't give the other half of the address then.
This is fascinating, though, to follow WeebeeTV with this, because, in the future, then, it seems like right now you're just getting slides, right?
Yeah, you're going to get slides and you're going to sounds. You know what this really is? This is the first tourism board little gadget out there on the internet where you can say, well, gee, do I really want to go to Graceland? And you log in and you can see what's at Graceland, and you probably would say, yeah, sign me up for that ticket.
Or, no, what a waste of time.
Or no, but just think about it. Who else will, if this works out, everybody who's got a tourism board will be putting up these home pages.
What a way to advertise all the different tourist destinations.
Now, are you surprised that what really takes off on the internet the fastest is something that will make someone money?
Not at all.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing that all over the place.
Well,
The Pizza Hut thing from last week and this Elvis thing. These are, that's where things get innovated. It's where there is money, and so that's pretty wild. I haven't logged into that one yet. I don't think I can type that many letters.
And if you want that, give us a call. CZ Ryder will have it for you. 479-1080 or 761-1080. What else happened?
Well, we also have an issue where the net really is getting bogged down. Remember the gas lines of the mid-'70s and early '80s? Well, so that may be destined for the Internet. The Internet is getting overloaded with extremely large transfers of data during peak times. And so there's a couple of camps trying to figure out what we're going to do about this. One says, well, let's increase the capacity of the net. And you're saying, well, we're going to have to do that anyway. As there's more and more users, you're going to need more and more capacity. The second camp is now advocating a surcharge on users who move large amounts of data during peak time. It's not clear to me who gets to collect this money. I'm trying to figure out how to hone in on that action myself. Economists, though, do advocate the toll as a logical surcharge on a scarce resource. They pay me to talk on the radio. So basically, we're seeing the Internet now become a commodity, and as that commodity gets used up, the price of it will go up.
Bob, this has got to be pushing some of your buttons.
Well, I've been reading some articles about this very subject, and it looks like it's right now and even in the future, it may not be technically possible to charge per packet of data because of the way the technology works. People have been trying to figure out how to do it, and in fact, that's one of the main things that the telcos and long-distance companies have been trying to figure out how to do. How do we charge? Like you, with a long-distance phone call, you're charged per minute based on the time of day. Well, with a data connection that's going 24 hours a day, and the packets can go, it's not one physical circuit from one end to the other like a telephone line. It can route through dozens of different methods to get to its final destination. It gets really difficult to figure out who to charge for what, because the Internet is not a network. It is a network of networks. And when you're getting data from a remote system, it may pass through 24 different networks to get from their network to your network. And so there's really no way that I can see, or that anybody else that I've read about has been able to figure out how to charge for that type of information. What they are going to charge for, and there's a big stink about right now, is the commercial Internet exchange, which is an association of Internet providers, are talking about charging a $10,000 fee and forcing you to join the CIX if you...
What's the CIX?
The Commercial Internet Exchange. Okay. They're going to charge you $10,000 to join if...
Being aware of any sounds or noises around us, outside of our room. Listening to the noises come and go. Like any other object, just another object of awareness, no distraction. Notice if any judgments or feelings about these noises arise. Just our thoughts, watching them arise, watching them pass. Notice any judgments of sounds and noises that we hear as being good or bad. Just sounds producing sensations in the ears. Listen to them. Come and go. Every sensation, every thought arises and passes. So often we judge what's around us and what's inside of us. Just notice this judging. Without trying to push it away, just notice the judging mind. And watch closely as the thoughts rise, pass, and perhaps the same thought to come again, arising and passing, just like the breath coming in and going out. As the thoughts arise, notice the simultaneous sensation in the body.
extra long, extra